Hi there, Cameron McCormick here. I'm at Full Swing headquarters hitting on a Pro 2 simulator. And this is the tip for you out there if you're one of those players that's searching for more power, more distance. I guess I'm speaking to everyone. I don't know a player that's ever stepped in front of me for an instruction or a lesson who's said, I hit it too far. Let's not worry about that distance element. So the core element, the reason elite level players are able to create so much speed is I have this great what we'll call segmental sequencing, where after their wind up, they begin to unwind from the ground up. They pivot their lower body. That's followed by a pull of the upper torso or rib cage. Then that leads to a pull at the lead arm, and finally it leads to a lag effect at the club head, where the club head almost is still moving backwards. In fact, oftentimes is massively moving backwards as they're winding forward. Contrast that against what we, or I specifically, see with recreational players, where the sequence is almost the opposite, where once the recreational players wound up, they're throwing the club in an effort to get the club head back as fast as they possibly can to the golf ball, and they think that's the way to create more speed. So the drill for you out there to start using at home is called breakback. And it's a two-step drill that allows you to develop more speed through improved sequencing, and here's how it works. So we're set up here at Pebble Beach, hole 17, a par 3 of 174 yards. You're going to be excitedly watching the US Open as it plays out the second to last hole. Ultimately, this is a very difficult hole and will be one of those deciding factors that determines the player that ultimately wins this year's US Open. So for me, a standard 7-iron is 175-ish yards. So let me demonstrate first by showing you what would happen is if I don't create my normal good sequence, my elite level sequence, if I create the recreational amateur's throwaway. Probably going to come up short because I didn't create my normal means of creating speed and energy in the club head. Yep, most definitely short. Okay, let's get to the drill. I know that's what you're here for. So we had 152 yards, where typically I'm looking for 175 yards. We had a club speed of 86 miles per hour. So those are our baselines that we're going to measure our success against. So like I said, breakback happens in two stages. The first is a practice stage, where I want you to take regular stance, regular grip, and I want you to wind the club back using body rotation to just a little bit above belt height or waist height. Pausing right here, I want you to start to make really slow movements, sensing that as you start the downswing, you give a little bit of upward movement to the club head and handle, and then as that happens, you get your knees starting to turn, your belt starting to turn towards the target, and then that final feeling that I want you to tap into is a feeling of suppleness in your wrists that allows that club to break back towards your trail shoulder. Break back towards the trail shoulder. And I want you to try and feel it break back as much as possible. Then I want you to audition that one in front of a golf ball. So here's the break back. First, the drill. Now these balls aren't going to go as far as full swings, and they're not supposed to. What we're trying to embed here is the sensation of segmental sequencing, where we get our lower body going as our club head is moving back towards our trail side. The second step is, of course, integrating this into a full swing motion. So again, it's building from the same foundation of sensation. Belt moving, club moving back towards trail shoulder, but yet this time we're going to build it into a full swing motion. Just like that. Be able to see that club as I slow it down, move back towards my trail shoulder, and then this is what's going to be able to produce normal or even greater than normal club head speed. That one should get to the green. Probably going to be a little bit long, actually. Yep. So like I said before, 153 yards now turns into 180 yards. 86 miles an hour is now going to turn into 93 miles an hour, as we can see on the Ion 3 camera. And I've got a really centered contact. Now, one very important point. As we're doing this, we need to understand that center of contact is really, really important. I'm going to create the same breakback movement that allows me 93 miles an hour. But what we'll see is when I intentionally hit it off the toe, we don't get the full value of the 93 miles an hour. That's really towed. And what we'll see as we glance at the Ion 3 camera here is we're going to see probably pretty close to 93 miles an hour of clubhead speed, but we're going to see a really twisting or torquing effect right here at impact that only produced 100 miles an hour ball speed on 90.1 miles per hour of clubhead speed. Now, if that's you, if you're creating good clubhead speed but not getting full value, we need to teach you to center it out. If you're hitting it out off the toe quite frequently, it could be as simple as standing a little bit closer, or it could be as simple as practicing landing your club more precisely. Let's do it by practicing yet another drill. It's called landing point control, where we address a ball and then we swing beyond the ball. In order for me to land the club further away from me, I have to extend my arms out, and that's going to be a sure solution to centering out. So break back, landing point, and that one's over the green. I hit it so hard. Whew, maybe the longest 7-iron I've ever hit. Let's see what iron says. Got 180 yards out of it. Here we go. There we go, 94 miles per hour, 126 miles an hour ball speed. And you can see on that camera play, we've got center contact every time. So, what are the lessons? Segmental sequencing is super important for you to create your peak clubhead speed. What does that mean? As we move from backswing to forward swing, we unwind from the ground up. The last thing to move is that clubhead back towards our trail shoulder. And we must be able to hit it out of the center as we're doing those things. And if you do them and do them correctly, you're sure to hit better shots and, importantly, longer shots. Give it a try.